Well, good day, Miller Family Farm Trust Channel. Today we're doing a really cool box opening and install of a commercial grade solar street light. You know, I think we all bought solar lights that just didn't make it very long, or didn't have the kind of lumens that we would want for maximum security on our farms, homesteads, or even just properties. So I looked high and low for the best possible deals on commercial grade street lights and found a great deal, and it was such a great deal I bought a whole case of them. So we're going to do an unboxing today and a review and an installation of one of those lights on the front of this property. And so let's start with the unboxing. Like everything, it's all built in China, which is a little upsetting. I would prefer that it's built in the good old USA, but when you're talking about LEDs and solar panels, like 99% of all of it's built in China. So I apologize to all of our USA friends that really want to support USA built products, but I could not find any. But so there's a lot of different kind of commercial lighting available, and all different kinds of wattage and lumens. And I really just look for the highest possible wattage I could that was supported by the solar panel, and stays lit for days in case we have rainy days or things like that. So this one is made by J.D. Jindian. Solar light private street lamp without electricity. I think they might have wanted to just put, solar. But their marketing's not great, but let's just see how their product is. This is a J.D. 9500, and I believe the 500 stands for the wattage of that light right there. So I ordered a whole case of 500 watt lights because that was the highest wattage I could find. And when I looked on like Amazon and eBay for 500 watts, they're hard to find, the same as this was hard to find. If you could find 500 or 600 watt commercial grade street lights, they were expensive, but I got a great deal on these. And if you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to sell the remainder of my case. Well, I'm going to hold a few of them for myself, but I'm going to sell the remainder of my case for an extraordinarily awesome deal. Because you're a subscriber to our family, I always give our patrons, first dibs and extremely great deals. So I'll tell you more about that at the end, but let's get on with it. Let's unbox this thing. Okay, well, I got the stuff out of the box, and it really looks like great quality. It's fairly heavy. I would guess that is, I don't know, 20 pounds or something like that. It's fairly heavy and well put together. The solar panel takes up the whole length of the light, which I would expect, because when you're putting out that kind of lumens, you need a lot of power for that. Here's the other side. And I think if I read properly, there is 620 LED lights in here. And then here is your on and off button. You just hold it for 2 seconds, and right next to it is your motion sensor. So from what I understand on this, let me look at the rest of this. So here's a mounting bracket that goes to your telephone pole or to the front of your house if you prefer, or building or garage or barn or whatever you're putting it to. And, it's pretty light, but, you don't need a lot for that. And this goes directly into that, and you just tighten the bolts on it. And that's really it for installation. So installation on a 0 to 10, 10 being, you better be very mechanically inclined, and 0 being, no skill. I'd give this a 1. So there's your mounting bolts, 2 batteries for a remote control. And you might ask, why a remote control? So if you think about it, it's a pretty good idea, because once you put it up on a telephone pole, how are you going to get to it? So if you don't want your light on, unless you have a switch in the house that goes all the way out to the telephone pole, But or if you're just on the back patio deck and this is, you want it to get dimmer, then you can dim the light, or you can put it on super high for 3 hours or 5 hours, and then goes back to 30% mode. So, and then the motion sensor kicks in. So the motion sensor will keep this light, or the light is programmed to stay on at 30% from dusk to dawn. And then if it gets any motion here, then it lights up to 100% for, I forgot how long, but it's not long duration. I think it's like a minute or 2 minutes. And then it goes back to 30% mode. So it doesn't stay on high very long. So if you want it on high long, then you can either hit 3 hours or 5 hours, and it will stay on high for the whole time you're on your deck or that you're working outside or whatever. So that's kind of cool. And, it comes with the batteries. And here is the directions. It is so funny. Like that's probably, 3 inches wide by whatever, by nothing. So that is your directions. And as you might imagine from China, they're not very good. But really, what do you need them for, really? So number 1, long press 1 second, light on, induction mode. Long press 1 second, light off. So you're on and off for 1 second and it turns it on, obviously. Installation method. To adjust the desired pattern, the lamp mounted to arm adjusting inner 6 angle screws. So there's not 6 angle screws, there's 4. but like we're not looking for some directions that are overly crazy. Really, just to keep it simple, this attaches to your pole. The pole is attached by those 4 anchor bolts, and there's your remote. So it's not, you don't need a huge, fancy booklet. The other thing I just wanted to show you on the side here, it's a LED power 500 watts, beaming angle. I'm not sure what that is, 120 beaming angle. And the temperature of the light is 6500 K, and the life of the light is 50,000 hours of LED light. So really pretty amazing. So let's go get this thing installed. Okay, welcome back. So we're on the front of a duplex that we own. And this is the parking lot, if I can back up a little bit, that we want to light up here. And for years, I was going to install a light up at the very top up here. But I didn't want the tenants, because you have to tie it into electric, and then the tenants raise hell, like who's paying for all that light out there? So for years I just haven't done that. But now with a 500 watt LED street light, it's a no-brainer just to be able to install that and never have to pay for power. So first thing you got to do is identify a good location. The higher the light, the further the angle that the light will cover. One of the problems, though, that I have, that's probably about 12, 13 foot up there, is that there's a road right there. So with the road right there, we want to keep the motion sensor light as low as possible so that it doesn't have 500 watts and 60,000 lumens or whatever lighting up the front windows in the tenant's apartment. So I'm going to mount it right below that vent right there, just to make sure it really just lights up our parking lot and that the cars driving by don't trigger it all the time. So we just want that light on when there's someone in the parking lot. Oh, let's talk about work. So tools that you may need for this. It's a pretty simple installation. Oh, I want to say one other thing. I cut off the pipe about 6 inches, and the reason is that we're in Florida, we get hurricanes, we get strong winds, and that pipe was really long and I really didn't want it sticking out that far. So if you want to do the same, I just grabbed a Sawzall and then figured out how long I want that pipe for sturdiness, and just cut it off. So that still fits perfectly. The diameter doesn't change, it will fit perfectly in the hole. So, and also the wood has a stud exactly where I'm going to put that. So I'm going to be using lag bolts that I just bought from Lowe's for 22 cents a piece, stainless steel lag bolts, instead of the anchor package anchor bolt package that came with the kit, with the LED solar light kit. So with that, then you'll need a set of ratcheting wrenches or a socket set, whatever you prefer. And the only other thing you're really going to need is a marker to mark your pallet holes in your bracket. So once you get it where it's supposed to go, you're going to mark your pallet holes with this. Then we're going to use the drill and just a small drill bit to put a pallet hole in so that it's perfectly level. And the other thing you're going to want is just a small level to put on the bracket to make sure that obviously it's level before you drill. Okay, let's do the work. Okay, so we're getting ready to mark the holes, and I forgot to mention another tool is a really good solid ladder that is sturdy, you know, so you don't hurt yourself or ladder falls. But this is a great ladder made by Werner, and it's 375 pounds. It's adjustable ladder. It can go up 13 foot. This orange one can fold up and go, you know, be used for like an adjustable ladder, or it could be used as a utility ladder. And I'll put a link down below because I think this ladder is pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at what we did here. So there's the vent, and I want to be, I really checked the wood. It's solid right here. There's like a plate above the concrete blocks, a wood plate that goes to that. So I wanted to get to 2 bottom legs into that and plywood above it. So you could see where I marked with our Sharpie the holes after we held the bracket up in place and after we put a level on the bracket to make sure it's perfectly level. So we got our holes in place. Now we're going to drill them. Okay, so the pilot holes are drilled, and they're about half the size of the lag bolts. So you just want pilot holes, and you really want your lag bolts to bite, you know, hard into your wood. And if you're going into concrete, that's what that package that came with the LED light is for, and you could use that kit. Or if you're going into wood like I am, you may want to use just, you know, good, thick lag bolts. Okay, step number 2, mount the bracket. Okay, so we're mounting the bracket, and all I did at this point was just finger start these lag bolts in the top 2. And as you can see, there is some adjustment. So after I get these tightened in a little bit, I'll do the 2 bottom ones, just finger start them, and then use our ratcheting wrench to tighten those down. And before we get it really tight, I'm going to put the level back on it and just make sure before we tighten it down that it is perfectly level. And one other thing I want to show you, this ladder just keeps on impressing me. I don't know if you can see that, but you see these bolts in here? It's a magnetic bolt holder. No kidding. So if your ladder falls over or whatever, you know how you always drop bolts and lose them? And so that is ingenious to have a little cup holder that's magnetic that hangs onto your bolts. So just another word about this ladder, and I just bought this ladder. And but I'll find, obviously, as I always do, I'll find the best price I could possibly find on it online, and I'll put the link down below. All right, so we got the lag bolts almost tightened down, but not quite, still movable. And of course, as soon as I check the level, it is just slightly off, and I am crazy anal about having things perfect. So that's about 1/8 of a bubble off. So we're just gonna fix that. Oh, that just did it. I just twisted the pipe a little bit, and that is perfect. So we're gonna tighten these lags down now. Okay, so we're all perfectly level, and step number 3 is to install the LED light itself and then tighten that down. And man, that's the job. So you can't get much simpler. Really, anybody can do this. Anybody. Like, again, 0 to 10, 0 being no mechanical skills whatsoever, to 10 being a master mechanic and able to figure things out. I would give this a 1, because all you have to do is drill screws and tighten your lag bolts, and your mount is in, and then you slip on the LED light and tighten it from the top, and voila, job is done. The rest is done on the ground with a remote control. I just wanted to talk to you though for a minute while I was up here, because while I was looking for these solar LEDs, I saw these attic vents that are solar, and these are just, I'm going to measure this, but it is 15, the vent is 15 inches wide by 21 inches. So I am going to look up where to get the best deal on these attic vents for solar fans that push the hot air out of the attic. And this attic, I don't know why, but when we got a new roof, they didn't put on a ridge vent, so it really holds some heat. And even if you had a ridge vent, it really makes sense to put, you know, because solar's free, is to put an attic fan in there to keep your circulation moving in the attic as much as possible to reduce heat, but also any attic space has a tendency to take on condensation, especially in your insulations and such, from the heating and cooling of the roof itself. So I got one here on the front apartment, and we got one on the back side too, on the back apartment. I'm gonna find out if we can get a couple of those, and we'll install those as well. I'll have to take my LED light back down, but make sure you subscribe, because we find all kinds of cool tech, everything outdoors, farming, 4x4, you know, pickup trucks, you know, doing reviews of brand new pickup trucks, building pickup trucks, farming, planting, raising backyard chickens, raising commercial grade chickens for meat, you name it, everything outdoors. I know if you're watching this that you too probably love the outdoors, and we have a goal of getting 10,000 subscribers in the next 3 months. This, you know, these videos take a lot of planning, a lot of research, and then finding, buying, waiting for shipping, unboxing, installation, editing, and the average video takes us somewhere between 8 and 10 hours. And we love doing it, don't get me wrong, but you can thank us just by joining our family here at the Miller Family Farm channel by clicking below subscribe and hit the like button. And we really love people that contribute positive comments in the description area. So please join us, help us make our 10,000 goal so we can continue doing these cool videos. Okay, back to work. Okay, one other thing we have to add to the tools needed is a good Allen wrench set, because we're going to be using those on these 4 Allen head bolts that will bolt to that right there. So this is step number 3, and this is the last step really. Well, I guess step number 4 is to make sure that it all works and lights up the area you want to light up. So I'm going to get this up on the ladder and bring my Allen wrench, and let's tighten her down. Okay, well, the light is all mounted, and this is the view from the street, and we'll just keep on walking up on it. This thing is just massive. I'm getting afraid that it's going to light up the parking lot too much. I don't know if there is such thing, but you know, having security and more lights is better than having just no good lights, and that's what the front tenant was using for security, just a little crappy camera that was screwed to the plywood. So this should help a lot, and that thing is just cool. I mean, it's just amazing. So, you know what's really great about this is that, well, one, you don't have to run power to it. You know, I think a lot of the reasons that we don't do things is like, oh man, I don't want to mess with electric, and then trying to get your electric from your electric box to a switch to a telephone pole or wherever you're going to mount it, or in the attic, is a pain in the butt. So this is literally installed in, I don't know, it took maybe 15 minutes in total from unboxing to actually screwing the lags to tightening the secure bolts to the thing, and it's installed. So 15 minutes. And solar, the other great thing is you could just let this thing burn all night like it's designed to do. Just light up your whole area at 30% until there's movement, and it's 100%, and never have to worry about electric bills. And 50,000 hours is the expected lifetime of this LED street light. So, I mean, that is, you know, going beyond your lifetime, or at least mine anyways. So it looks really fashionable. I mean, I don't know if you could tell how great that looks, but it's better than I had even expected. So really, there's no reason not to buy these LEDs. And again, you guys, I bought a whole case of them. I'm going to save a few for myself and put some out on the farm and, you know, figure out how to use them. But I'll give you one heck of a deal if you just want to go in the description below, and I'll have the pricing down there, but it'll be better than anything you can find on the internet as far as pricing goes. So, and again, if you haven't subscribed, come back, because we're going to be putting that solar vent in the attic right there. And venting our attic even better is one of our future videos. So if you want to get cool future videos, then by all means, subscribe, become a part of our family. But no negative people, just positive comments, contributors, people that really enjoy the networking that happens here at the Miller Family Farm Trust channel. And if you stay right to the end, we're going to come back after dark and we're going to test this thing and light it up and bring our remote control and really see how this thing works in, you know, a complete honest review of the kind of lighting that it has. 500 watts is a lot of LED. Or I'll let you know if you're the kind of person that just says there can never be enough LED lighting. But I think, you know, one of the things for security on your farm, on your home, anywhere, is brighter the light, better security. So, you know, that's kind of our philosophy, and maybe yours too, but I'll let you know how bright this is tonight. And the parking lot's 3 cars wide, so we'll play with it tonight. So stay tuned right to the end, and we'll let you know at the end how much the pricing is, and then how great this lights up the parking lot. Stay tuned. All right, well, here we are, Miller Family Farm Channel, and it is about 8 o'clock and just getting dark. So we're going to be taking a look at the LED light, see how bright this baby gets, and if it comes on right at dusk. And so we're going to check it out. Here we go. So first, we're just going to push the on button. Oop, and oh man, my goodness, it is it is bright. And it stayed on high for about 15 seconds, and then went to regular mode. So it's like, I think like at 30% until there's movement, and then it goes right to high mode. So let's see if I stand still here, how long it stays on high mode. Man, that's bright. That is just so awesome. Oh, there it goes. So then it's on low mode until something moves. So if I move, let's see what happens. Oh, yep. So it kicks on. Man, that is so bright. I'm going to back up just so you get a sense of how bright that is. It just lights up the whole area. Yes, there are some lights over here that are the tenants' lights, but look how bright that is. That is just so awesome for solar. Like, incredible. I mean, it's lighting up 40 foot out of the driveway. And I kind of like it because the ambiance it puts on the building. And there is low mode again. So that is pretty cool. Just, you know, it's just enough security on low mode to, you know, to keep any undesirables away or whatever you're using it for. If it's on a farm, keeping predators away. But man, that is just so, I mean, it is so bright. It's awesome for a solar light. I'll get a little closer so you can get how bright it is. That was from, you know, 50 or 60 foot away. Hopefully the camera's not blinding you, but that is crazy bright. Oh my goodness, I'm squinting just looking at it. So that is just incredible. And so you guys, if you look, after I get done with this video, I'll start editing, but I'll look for the best price I could possibly find on this 660 watt solar LED street light. And I'll find the best price and I'll beat that significantly. And I'll put the price down below along with just so how cool it just turns off. along with how much I'll sell it to just our subscribed member. If you're not subscribed, then we're not, I don't have that many. It's only for our subscribed members. So, and I want to show you one other thing. It's starting to rain out. The remote control. So, oh man, it's starting to get windy and raining out. So the remote control says, I don't know if you can see that, but it says 5 hours on high, 3 hours on high, automatic. You could just go if you decide, ooh, it's going to rain hard out. I'll go in the house and show you the rest. Okay, so there's the remote. And the cool thing about it is, the light runs itself without a remote, because you could just, stand on the ladder, hold the on button for, 1 or 2 seconds, and it comes on. It automatically, there's nothing you need the remote for, but it automatically comes on at dusk, turns off at sun up, and just stays in 30% mode the whole night unless somebody or something walks in front of it. Then it kicks on high for about 15 to 30 seconds. We should have counted it. And then it turns off. It's probably 30 seconds. Then it turns back down to 30% again. So it's pretty cool. But let's say you were out there entertaining or having a party or just working on the homestead. You could grab your remote and hit 5 hours on this, and it will automatically stay on high for 5 hours while you're working, or 3 hours. And if you're leaving, like if you put it on for 5 hours and you're done working after 2 hours, you just hit automatic here, auto, and it goes back to the regular mode of 30% unless there's motion. And then you could just turn it off right here, on and off. So if you don't want the light on at all, just turn it off, and that's that. Again, if you're a subscribed member, I'm going to put the subscribed member pricing down in the description, but only subscribed members. I know some people will try to get smart and get this pricing once they see. I'll even put the links of the best 500 or 600 watt LED street lights that I can find on Amazon and eBay. I'll put the links down below so you can see that you really are getting a great deal. And I love doing that for our subscribed members. It just makes me happy to be able to, to help people that are subscribing to our channel, contributing, that is leaving comments and hitting the like button and, contributing to the rest of the members of Miller Family Farm Trust channel. So look down below, and if you haven't subscribed, now would be a great time to subscribe. We do everything outdoors, farming, LED lights, 4x4s, side-by-sides, buying and selling land, you name it, anything outdoors is what we do, and I know that you like it too, and that's why you're watching this video. We're having a challenge. We're currently at 1,700 subscribers, and thank you, you guys, you're amazing. And we're going to 10,000, so in 3 months. So please help us out. Help us meet our goal by hitting the subscribe button and the like button while you're there, and leave a comment. Please leave a positive comment, something you can contribute not just to me, but to our whole Miller Family Farm Trust channel family. Okay, thank you so much.